What is up, you bunch of casuals? UFC Kansas City post show. It's a little bit late, day late and a dollar short, but that's okay because we got two of my very good friends that were actually at the event. Let's bring them in. We have good old Degenerate Dane. How you doing, Degenerate Dane?
Better here in a minute. No.
Sparking it up. I love it. All right, cool. And we got Nick the Dane, the Danish invasion. How's it going, Nick?
Going great. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. So, guys, tell me, how was the event?
Go ahead.
Why don't you start off?
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Overall, I think it was a pretty good time. Prelims, great. Main card kind of slowed down. I had a fun time. Met a bunch of people, saw a bunch of people. A lot of stairs to climb when you're on the floor.
Yeah. Let's see. You got some pictures you guys sent me. You guys were high as shit, and you guys tried to call me, and you were like, "Hey, we're gonna video chat you so you can be a minute ahead." And I was like, "I have an iPhone. You guys, I don't know if you guys can do that." And you're like, "Oh, okay." You guys are like fucking fucked up, but
I think Nick was a minute ahead of everybody. Yeah, there we go.
There's
yeah.
good old Rich and me. Oh no, wait, that's Captain. What's his name again?
Captain Eric Albarracin.
Yes, and I think I got. Oh yeah, and there's Nick and the same man. And so is he shorter than me or about the same height?
Dude, he's got to be like 5'3".
Damn. All right. Well, that makes it feel better. Good to see Sean Moody in the chat. He says, "Dane, are you ready to come back to Peoria, Illinois?"
No. The last time I went to Peoria, I got arrested.
Oh, care to tell us that story?
Oh my God, I'm so old. So the very first show of the Metallica Black Album tour was in Peoria, Illinois. I was going to school in Vincennes, Indiana. Anyways, we went over there in a couple of after the show. A couple of locals decided to call out our Hoosier sexuality.
Okay.
We couldn't let that happen.
Right.
So we got in a big fight, and the cops come and arrested everybody with an Indiana driver's license.
Oh, shit. Damn, that sounds like some Illinois ass shit. Good to see Lane in the chat. Where you at, Big Al's Club?
Some money, Lane.
Also, Sean says he sold his ticket to Des Moines for $80. Seems strange.
Well,
anyway,
was it like a bus ticket, or what was it?
It's funny.
Lane,
all right,
Lane, did you get your money?
What? Oh,
did Lane
ever get her money? That's the real question on everyone's minds. But yeah, I mean, tell me like highlights, highs and lows of going to the show, Nick.
Man, it was a good time going with the Degenerate Dane himself in the flesh. You know, we got out of the basement. We got into a live event. Wow. You know, we had some drinks. Seats were pretty good. I know we had
somebody ate some
Nicholas Dahl. What's that?
Somebody ate some things too.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going around. We locked eyes with Dalby's cornermen, and they gave us the big nod with the Danish flag. What else? The crowd, man, is bloodthirsty. You know, they're pro-American, but the minute somebody, you know, submits or there's any sort of blood, dude, they it's like a shark, you know, feeding frenzy. These guys go crazy there. it was a lot of fun.
The crowd seemed
Um,
awesome.
yeah. What are you gonna say, Rich?
Let me go ahead and jump in here. I think I pointed out to Nick this at least 5 times during the show. From the prelims, it was 85% full. To the end, it was 100% full. And that's something like I've never seen like at One or at UFC or any event here. Or that's something we're guilty about here in Las Vegas, is that once gym's fighters get done fighting, they all leave. But I got to give it to the Kansas City crowd, man. They were no casuals there. Nobody living in the basement, that's for sure.
Yeah, Rich is still very salty over some things. But yeah, I mean, like I said, what was like the high of the event for you guys before we get into all the fights?
Ooh.
I have one.
Yeah, drop it. What do you got?
Watching Anthony Smith go out like a bitch in his retirement fight was my high of the show.
Yeah, that was you could tell that first leg kick, dude. He did not like that and backed off and just got pummeled. I think a couple of those brutal elbows opened him up right in the middle of the head. And yeah, that was interesting. I would pick a different highlight. Let me think. Man,
I was really surprised at how good they were and how competitive they were. They all ended in knockouts. The last 3 fights were pretty big duds.
You think so?
Pereira. Oh, Michelle
Yeah.
Pereira. I'll give Prochess like a D plus, just because the last 3 minutes of the fight, which should have been the first 3 minutes of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, he may have won there, but yeah, I don't know, man. So I don't mean to jump ahead of you, Nick, but maybe a little. I'll give, for me, the whole experience with a B minus. Okay, it was good, not great. The venue was definitely let's say this, man, out loud. No shade on too much. C minus. Just the up and down of the stairs, no access to the alcohol.
Yeah.
Nobody serving alcohol or food.
Down on the floor on our side.
Right. The selection was pretty limited. And I'll say it, our view from being 18 rows back was kind of mid. We may have been better served a little higher up in the stands, but we did get pretty good, cushioned floor seats with a lot of leg room for us fellas that are 6 feet plus.
Right.
We had 6 inches somewhere else. We might need that extra leg and girth ring.
Right. Yeah. Understood. What about you, Nick? What overall event experience? Like, how would you rate it as far as the venue and all that stuff?
Man, overall, I'd probably go like a B plus even.
Okay.
It came in really hard. Like Rich was saying, a lot of the crowd was there early, which was nice. You look around, 3 fights in, there's some seats, here or there that you can kind of make out, but 5, 6 fights in, boom, it's riddled with people everywhere. People are going nuts. There's woos, woo, and boos, and USAs, and what's the phone with the light? Like they did that last time I was there too. I don't know. I don't remember seeing that really anywhere else. Maybe a couple other places, but it was cool. Atmosphere was cool. Yeah, seats could have been a little better. What are you gonna do?
Well, I sent you guys that video of the Dana. How over the past 2 years the UFC ticket prices at the gate have went up.
Mm-hmm.
But Chatri's following suit, man, because here we are going to one, and we're not like cage side this time, which is a little shitty.
Well, I mean, look, Chatri sold out. Well, he was at the First Bank Center first, and that wasn't as big of a venue as the last one we went to. So he's selling out events, so why not up the ticket price? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That arena's no longer.
Yeah, First Bank's gone, but what was the arena we went to last time? I can't remember.
Ball
Is it
arena.
at the same place? Ball
That's
Arena,
where
right?
The Nuggets play.
Right. So no, I'm looking forward to that. But on to Kansas City. So I full transparency. I missed pretty much. I only watched a few fights on this card. I had to do some things for some family members, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we'll have you guys carrying me through this post show. Hey, look, I was working,
Okay,
buddy.
talking about the main man, strong ups, representing the family, La Familia.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, let's get into it, man. We'll talk about the main event and we'll go down. This fight I actually did watch. It was Ian Gary versus Carlos Praches. Look at these striking numbers, dude. Ian Gary doubling up Praches on total strikes, significant strikes, head strikes. They landed similar amount of body kicks, but it was the leg kicks of Ian Gary. Only 10 for Praches and 23 for Gary, and 3 minutes of control time. 4 takedowns landed out of 19. Didn't really do much with the takedowns, but I mean, Ian Gary surprised me in this fight because I totally thought this fight would be boring. I thought it would be like a very low volume affair, and Ian Gary would kind of just win a split decision. But no, he went out there and he took the fight straight to Praches, and he fucked him up like almost the entire fight. A 5th round, man, Praches caught him with something, and he had him. He was throwing some vicious strikes on the ground. Ian Gary crawling all around like a fucking newborn baby, but not enough to get it done. And Ian Gary wins 3 rounds. So I was very impressed with him after this performance. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go ahead, Rich.
Well, I've always been a little higher on. I mean, we all want to hate on Gary for extra cage activities, but he is an outstanding fighter. He's a great striker. He's got a great takedown defense. His chin's been proven now. I mean, if Praches can't crack you, who can, right? So, but like, I will be honest, man. I don't want to jump ahead of it, but Praches and Michelle Pereira got the same kind of game, and they both just couldn't get off. Like, their whole secret is to get off on the first round, and I mean, it was really weird how he was just playing that like touch and go, fucking tippy tap fighting at the beginning of the first 2 rounds. I mean, why would you? I mean, I don't understand it. I don't know why he didn't go off in the first and second round like he usually does. Because I mean, he probably even knows if he wasn't going to win the first 2 rounds, it ain't going to happen.
It was weird to see, like, I don't know. I think it's a consequence of Ian Gary, the way he fights. Like, I think he slows down a fight. But yeah, it was weird because, like I said, Ian Gary just took it straight to Carlos Praches. And I think I think it was more due to Gary than anything else, personally. And they were both tired by the 5th. And that's when Praches eventually ended up catching him. And that's when it got interesting. But, I mean, he was almost out in that 5th round, but just hung on. So I have a lot of respect for Ian Gary. This is a side of Ian Gary we've never seen. You know what I'm saying? Like him fight like this.
Gary, he looked good. It was more on Gary than it was Praches. You're absolutely right.
What do you think about the fight, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it beforehand, and you know, obviously, like to reiterate, Praches, I think his only option was that first round knockout or second round. You know, we thought Ian might wrestle him a little more. He tried. What was that? 4 rounds before he got his first takedown. So that was a bit surprising. It felt like Carlos was trying to not gas himself out. So he wasn't throwing as many. Because then, you know, his previous fights, he would eat a couple to land one. You know? I don't know. It was interesting to see. It was almost like a mimic close to of the Diego Lopez Volkanovski fight, where
right,
where
and then
Diego came out.
Round, all of a sudden he turns up the volume, and it's like you could have done this the whole fight.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, so yeah, it was just weird to see. But yeah, Ian Machado Gary, like the guy he's good. Yeah, what hit him in that fifth round? Did he get clipped with a hook or what was that?
Yeah, left
Can't even
hook.
remember. I think it was something hit him,
We
and
were-
then it was the ground shots from Prates that really started to like had him on skates.
He had him on in the cage. Yeah,
A lot of people were saying like the fight's fixed because Prates didn't finish it. I don't know.
probably not.
Yeah, hold on. I got something to say. Hold on, real quick. All right.
All right.
All right, yeah.
Dude, this guy, he's obsessed with the Hank the Tank fucking drama. I'm glad that Rich has been getting more into the side of MMA YouTube drama. It's been very fun.
When he came back on and did that, I lost my shit, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, shout out to No Chill for writing that whole script and editing that video. It was fantastic. So I guess really the most important question. And by the way, Sean Moody asks if you've ever run into RVD before, Rich.
Oh,
is that some drug I haven't done yet?
I think he's talking about Rob Van Dam.
No, I have not. No.
Also, Andrew B says, "Degenerate Dan, you are cool and I like you, but Nick is the new one here." Okay. All right.
Hold on. Let me back that up. When it comes to any encyclopedic knowledge about MMA, Nick Dane has got me by a fucking cubic meter. That dude he knows, he calls up fights that makes me feel young.
He's like, yeah, remember when Keith Jardine fucking fought in the prelims of fucking UFC? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
The fucking guy knows people who were at the Yama pit.
Yeah, Butterbean.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
In the middle has taken a human life before.
Yeah, I think so.
Technically, a few hundred, maybe 1,000.
Wow.
Hundreds of millions.
I'm a respiratory therapist, and sometimes I have to withdraw life support from people. So,
fuck, dude.
Technically, maybe, but it's a mercy thing.
Yeah,
Kind of.
It's all in the line of medical practice.
It's a gray area,
like a Yamaguchi or a Keith Peterson.
Yes.
Oh yeah, beer and cigarettes. We saw him there. He was looking all Ozempic'd out.
He's looking
Guy's
good.
looking good. You know, it's a beer and cigarettes diet. But yeah, the big question is who should Ian Gary fight next? Andrew suggested him and Sean Brady. I think that's a good fight. Let me pull up the rankings really quick. Because I mean, the hard part is we got to wait for the title fight before any one of these prospects get their fight. So we've got obviously Bilal as a champ, Sean Brady number 1, Shavkat 2, Leon Edwards 3, Kamaru Usman 4, JDM 5, Buckley 6. He's going to be fighting Kamaru Usman coming up in Atlanta, and then Ian Gary at 7. So
I would love that Buckley Kamaru Usman winner versus Machado Gary. I think there was some drama too. Did you catch that? What was he saying about Buckley's family?
I kind of caught it a little bit. Like I said, I haven't been tuned into anything really MMA this weekend. So priority.
Next, no.
I mean, what do you think? Who should? I like the Sean Brady fight. I think that solidifies a number 1 contender. But then Shavkat's kind of hanging out there, So you know what's good though, man, is welterweight's finally interesting again.
What about Islam? Islam's going to come in next, take the title fight. Yeah,
what? No, I thought Bilal was booked against JDM.
But if JDM beats him, Islam wants to move up.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying though. Is like, then who does Ian Gary fight next? I think some things have to play out.
Let's move on.
All right, sounds good.
I'll say MVP again.
God. All right, so the next fight was Anthony Smith getting knocked out in the first round by Ming Yang Zhang.
Next.
Anthony Smith only landing 11 strikes in the fight. Man, I mean, what can you really say? Like, I've
He
never
drank
been
more beers in that fight than he had strikes.
Look, I respect Anthony Smith. The guy's always out there to have a fight. You know, he's always down to get in a scrap. But to me, it's just pathetic. Him rolling out there like a bag of bones at this point, completely washed. I can't stand fighters that do that shit, man. So I was very happy to see him get finished, very sad and pathetically in this fight. And I already knew he would get knocked out in the first round, but I did say, you know, I was like, hey, look, he could old vet this thing and get the dub here if he makes it boring. But that's not Anthony Smith, man. And if you saw, like, in those exchanges, he was going for it. He was landing some elbows on Zhang. He was trying, but, you know, got hit with one good shot, turtled up on the ground and got, I mean, he almost got fucking head kicked. Do you guys see that? He almost got soccer kicked on the ground.
That was great. Yeah. I've never seen someone do like attempt but withdraw, you know, in major MMA like that, you know, main card.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm so happy that Anthony Smith is finally. They played a video package for him after he got slaughtered in the cage, right?
Yeah. We had to suffer through that. Yes. Twice.
So what are your thoughts on poor old Anthony Smith's pathetic performance in this fight?
Fuck him. Oh. No, I thought the UFC actually kind of did him dirty, throwing him against, like, you know, they should have thrown him up against another 35-plus-year-old loser. You know what I mean?
Keith Jardine.
Yeah, Keith. Yeah, I'm talking like I don't know. I don't think they got a whole lot out there at that weight class, really.
I think I said Ed Herman. I was saying Ed Herman, short fuse.
Bring Ed Herman back.
Ed Herman,
bring him back.
Anthony Heartless Smith. Wow. Nick, I know. Look, you're an Omaha guy. You love Anthony Smith. Give me your thoughts on Anthony Smith's victimization in this fight.
Man, well, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I've seen the guy fight a ton. Go ahead.
Sam Alvey. They should have re-signed Sam Alvey.
Dude, no. Sam would have whooped his ass, dude.
Probably.
He's like 38. And he's killing it in karate combat. I mean, they put Rashad when he came back as a middleweight. They put him up against Sam with like, oh, this will be a gimme, and then Sam decisioned him or something. You remember? Yeah. So.
Yeah. But I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, man. It's so what I was saying. You're good. What I was saying is, I've seen Lionheart fight more times than I can remember. I was there live at the Bellator where he fought a dude I know, Brian Smokin' Green from Des Moines. Went on to box Kimbo, by the way. You know, I've seen him in VFC, Victory Fighting locally. He came out on his second run to the UFC at post Strike Force. He came out with they showed the picture. It said, what did it say? Sign me Uncle Dana or some shit like that, you know. And he got picked up. And I saw him fight in Kansas City in 2017. He knocked out Andrew Sanchez with a vicious head kick, if I recall, or it might have been followed up with punches. So they showed all the highlights. You know, I had seen all those, not live. Shogun was in Germany when he fought him. I saw Rashad get knocked out in Chicago by him. And then, let's see, who else did they showed some other ones. You know, the dude from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I don't remember actually if they put that on there. Either way, guys had a lot of great fights. You're right. He probably never deserved to get up. It was quite a run to get up to that title fight, and he did the right thing, not taking the belt. Because he would have been just a big joke like Aljamain was and Aljamain Sterling still having to deal with that shit.
That's true. Yeah.
So you can imagine if he would have took the belt, people would have talked so much shit. And now that he didn't take the belt, I mean, that kind of solidified him as a Nebraska legend. So,
Got some corn in his blood, baby.
got that cone. Yeah, that was. I'll touch on that too. It was nice that the crowd didn't walk out like a Cornhuskers football game. As soon as they start losing, the whole crowd leaves.
Damn.
Everyone stuck around. So you got something, Rich?
Yeah, I just want to once again. I want to give the Casey. That is the most full to finish fight I've ever seen for a crowd. I'm not saying it was the biggest arena. The arena was kind of mid, to be sure, but every seat from the floor all the way up to all the 4 levels, full and start to finish. That's the first time I have ever seen that at an MMA event.
Yeah.
Again, Kansas City, good on you.
So
yeah, man.
So let's talk about Anthony Smith's final fight, Nick, or hopefully.
Yeah. Yep. I was working up to that, so I think he'll come back for slap, but we'll skip that for another one. Yeah, coming into it, I didn't really know much about the other dude, Zhang, right? Looked into him, knocking dudes out. It's like, oh yeah, they did him dirty a little bit, but he did beat who's that, Vitor Petrino, right?
Yeah.
And that dude was coming up. He had a lot of heat behind him too, and yeah, was able to roll into that guillotine, I believe. So, there was a lot of that coming into this, but his last 3 performances.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
was he a road to UFC winner?
He did win the road to UFC.
Yeah. What's his name again? The Tiger, right? Or what was it?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. He told us that we'd remember him. If you remember, you didn't see that post fight, did you?
No.
He knew just enough English to talk shit to the crowd. Boo me. Yeah, man. Awesome. I would have rather have seen him fight someone. Bring Dan Henderson back. Nah, it probably would have been a bad fight too. But Henderson's 67. But yeah, it had to go out, man. Just like Uncle Chael always says, you always go out, face down, ass up, give it to the next guy. So I guess Omaha is Zhang's city now.
Yeah, straight up. Well, I mean, so how are you feeling about? I mean, I think you did a great job kind of breaking down Anthony Smith's career as a whole. I mean, what do you think, Rich? What do you think his legacy will be in the UFC?
Just his longevity, and as much as you want to, he's not bad on the mic. He's certainly better than Bisping. He doesn't sound like a hillbilly.
Oh, as far as like being part of the commentary crew at the desk and stuff. Yeah, I agree with that.
You can't diminish that and how he did both at the same time. Not too many guys have done that. So, and just the way that he, got, not to drown it out, but how he was in the UFC, then he wasn't, then he's back in. That there's not too many guys have done it to that level, and you got to give him the props for that, for sticking around. So, where a lot of other guys quit. So I see where he gets lying hard. Okay, yeah, he stuck around for it. So a lot of other guys would have quit. And and let's say this, he's only 36. Nick, how old are you?
I'm 41.
Uh-huh. Right. So you know what I mean? It's not like, dude. But you know what? But in MMA years, he's probably 58.
Right.
So, and look at me, I'm 52, and I look like this.
I mean, the guy.
Good.
I would say Anthony Smith is good fighter. But these last few years have just been sad to watch. I mean, obviously, yeah, the Vitor Petrino fight, sure, but it's just been sad and pathetic.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I'm just like, and look, as far as like him being delusional, on his podcast, and he's always talking about, how his mentality. You have to be delusional to be a fighter. Okay, so I'm not holding any of that against him. I'm just saying, like, it's been very clear to me since the Glover fight that the guy should just not be fucking fighting anymore.
Right.
So that's kind of
Dude,
my take
that was
on it.
another thing, though. That was another thing. That Glover fight that was supposed to happen April of 2020 in Lincoln, Nebraska, and it got pushed back, and because of the whole COVID thing. And I mean, who knows? Maybe he was coming off quite a little bit of a run there. He could have put it on Glover in that one. He was training with James Krause, though. So, I mean, Krause might have bet against him and made a killing,
I do feel after watching that first fight, the main event though, would I have rather seen Khalil beat the shit out of Jamal Hill? Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
But I don't feel too cheated. I thought Pratchett would have came out a little harder. I did like the co-main event and the whole schmaltzy, the whole schmaltzy Midwest thing behind it. Guy going out on the Shield. But
Andrew B says Nick reminds him of Hank. Wow.
Hank who?
Stipe didn't get a package yet. Smith and Watterson got one. Yeah. Fuck. But I think Stipe probably pissed him off a little bit. Maybe not taking certain fights they wanted him to take. I would only took John Jones as my final fight too. No Chill says Zhang gave Smith 14 unanswered reciprocal tariffs to the face. Damn.
Dude, early stoppage.
We're getting 125% back on that.
Alvey versus the Spain and Casey. Yeah, that'll be a slaughter.
He's got to get by Tyrone Spong.
Oh, is he? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Anthony Smith should have fought Ryan Spann a third time. No. What's up? Hey, good to see Rafuko. Anthony, when I fought John Jones Smith.
yeah.
Good to see Matua. Let's see. Nick the Dane graduated high school in 2001. Is that true?
02.
Okay. Is Anthony Smith worthy of the Hall of Fame? Well, the UFC Hall of Fame is very arbitrary. So I would say, yeah, probably.
No, I don't think so.
But they'll put him in for a fight. It'll be like, I don't know. What was, I don't even know any of the fights that he's had that have been like fight of the year contenders, though. He's had some great finishes.
Wait. If Cub Swanson is in the Hall of Fame
for that Choi fight.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think worse fighters have been in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame standard in the UFC is not high.
If Anthony Smith goes in the Hall of Fame, so does Roxanne Modafferi.
Oh God! All right, Jesus.
Fair. I mean, if you look at
Happy Warrior,
kind of the same trajectory. They're kind of the same fighter. If you look at the records, kind of the same.
Dude, Roxanne Modafferi is like a pioneer, though.
Oh, so even more, Strike Force, and I'm with you. Should be in all
135, 125, Mount Rushmore for women.
Damn straight.
All right. I love fighters going out their shields as Matua.
If you're saying he's in the Hall of Fame, then she's in the Hall of Fame. Easy.
Fair enough. Tyrone Spong is a beast. It's my point. When your grandkids ask you what Anthony Smith did when he was fighting, I would be able to tell them shit, or maybe says wouldn't. Hall of Fame is just who the UFC likes. That's my point. It's just like, I think he's collected enough brownie points with the UFC to be able to be in the Hall of Fame. Frank Shamrock should be in the Hall of Fame, and he said publicly he doesn't want to. All right. Next fight was Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. I did watch this fight. It was a pretty decent fight. Some people thought it was close, but I think David Onama pretty handily beat him. But if you look at these striking numbers, they're pretty damn even. Just 6 minutes and 15 seconds of control time for David Onama. This fight went pretty much how I thought it would. David Onama just has more skills. He's on a winning streak. Giga Chikadze doesn't fight enough, and it just kind of came to a head here in this fight.
Yeah,
No surprise.
I would.
This is how I was going to go too. It's just what the betting odds thought it was going to go. So, no surprise. And I think
Yeah,
Giga's getting towards the end too. How old is he?
36.
Yeah, so he's getting towards the end. He's an old striker who thinks he can out kickbox MMA guys. And he's running into guys that have moderate kickboxing skills, but superior cage control, and wrestling. And he's going to lose.
Yeah, and David and I'm 3 for 3 on takedowns. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a wrap. I mean, crowd was behind Onama. Giga made it a little interesting, but you need to put him in with a striker if you want something, exciting. So
Yeah, but even
Onama,
then, I don't know. Giga Chikadze should go back to selling shitty cologne at a mall kiosk. That's fucking great, dude. Oh my god.
let's see.
What were we gonna say?
Oh, go ahead.
No, you know how like perfume, it's like, Bouffant by Fart Stain. Chikadze by Giga.
Giga by Giga. Yeah. I was gonna say we should see him versus like Juicy J. What's that kid's name?
Yeah, Julian Erosa.
Julian Erosa. Yeah.
I think he's a little high up in the rankings for Julian Erosa, personally, but
fuck it, throw him in.
No,
Giga's game was non-existent. Where does Giga train out of? I don't know. All right. Next fight was Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. I did not watch this fight, but I heard Michel Pereira looked pretty washed in this fight, but he kept up in the striking numbers. I mean, all the striking numbers look so well. Yeah, all right. It looks like he was just throwing body shots most of the fight and leg kicks. It wasn't really head on in this one.
It was bad. It was like he got caught, I think, early on. It was another one of those where he got kind of rocked, and he never was able to get confidence in himself and to hurt was it Magomedov? Like he couldn't take control, So he was backing up a lot of the fight. I mean, they didn't even really wrestle. That was the thing too. So a couple takedowns here and there. It was mainly stand up, but that was the fight where the crowd was getting restless, dude. A lot of wooing and booing, and the cell phone lights were illuminating. So yeah, it was. I think I might have gotten a beer during this one. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Shit. I always wait till the women's fights to get a beer myself, but
they were early.
I am still sore from walking up and down those stairs as much as I had to.
Rich, you
gotta admit, they were a bit steep, Nick, even for a young guy, right? So we were double fisting every time we were going up and down those stairs, like Danes.
Oh, man.
Right. Did you guys see Brennan Schaub there this time?
No.
Nah. Saw Drew Dober.
Okay.
Who else did we see? Diego Lopez was there. Fucking Khalil was there.
Ibiaro.
So, what do you think is next? You think Michel Pereira is washed, or Abus Magomedov just that good?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see him up against somebody. Fucking, let's throw. I don't even know who would you put him up against. Michelle. Like, you want someone exciting. You want to get him in there with another stand-up guy, right? Like Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson.
Stephen Thompson's on
MVP moving up to 185.
Yeah, there you go.
Or who's the other dude? What's his name? Shira Bullet.
Shira Bullet. Yeah,
the
pirate dude.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I heard he's not gonna fight again, but I don't believe that, honestly. I just think that the North American commissions won't clear him to fight because he's blind in one eye.
So he can fight in fucking Polakistan forever.
Polakistan. All right. Well, I have to go. Like I said, I this probably should have been picks and preview for the next card, but glad to have my buddies on to talk about their experience at Kansas City. Let's talk about Randy Brown knocking out Nicholas Dalby. I was listening in to this fight on Isha's the Sea Life Project's Fight Companion. Shout out to Isha. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like this is what Isha said. He said, you know what? Everybody thought Nicholas Dalby was going to go out there and just get washed by Randy Brown, but he didn't. He made it a fucking dogfight. He knocked Randy Brown down, and he went out like a fucking man. And yeah, give me your thoughts. I mean, I don't even really know exactly what happened. I heard it was pretty back and forth. And then Randy Brown just landed the kill shot.
If I may start, seeing that I'm the guy who had a significant amount of money on this fight. So I honestly thought that this fight was going to go to split decision, because that's kind of what, Dalby's never been knocked out. Right. So, and he's known to go into split decisions quite often. I got a bet at plus 425. When I see when he yeah, I know. When I see him go down like that, that hurt. And I only had him on one other parlay, like some kind of wishy-washy. Hey, if it hit, man, that's great. But it was just a dream. I didn't expect him to win, but I did expect him to go the whole 3 rounds. So, but the way he went out like a fucking warrior and unlike a Swede, hey, you got to give it up to him. Your thoughts on this one, Nick? No.
That was a rough one. So of those, there was 2 fights that I really wanted. I picked against both guys, Anthony Smith and Dalby here, but I really wanted those guys to pull it out, And I like Randy Brown a lot. He's got a high ceiling. Nick Dalby, he's 40. He's probably topped out, but that was hard to see him go down, man. And that might have been knockout of the night. Could have been fight of the night. Give him, an extra 50 grand. Uncle Dana. We're a couple days late, but yeah, it looked good. And he had a couple good strikes right before that knockout. They were kind of going back and forth a little bit. It was a good exchange, but yeah, it was tough. It was crazy, and of course the crowd was going ballistic. So the blood in the water, the chum.
I heard there was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
But somebody's nose got cracked pretty early on. They were leaking a lot of blood, right?
I think it was Dalby.
We Danes don't have very big noses, though. It's not hard to break.
And you can't get
accused for other spots.
Can't get accused of being, somebody in the Middle East. This shall not be named. Ikram Aliskerov knocking out Andre Muniz quick. I was considering going Ikram by decision, and then I was looking at his record and I saw he got knocked out by fucking Paul Craig, and I was like, oh yeah, then Ikram's definitely going to knock him out. Give me your thoughts on this one.
You want me to start, Rich? I'll go ahead. So I actually picked Muniz on this one because I thought he might. That was one of my underdog picks, and it failed miserably. I knew everyone else was picking Aliskerov, but yeah, didn't work out for me.
Muniz only landed 16 total strikes.
He looked like shit, dude. He looked sucked out. He's a bigger 185er, but man, and he was you could say he was shredded, but he just looked depleted to me. So as soon as he came out, it was, probably before that for most of you guys, but it was just like, wrong pick, dude.
At plus 380, I took him. I had him paired up with Nicholas Dalby in case,
degenerate ass parlay.
Right. Universe 616 from Marvel came about. Thanos snapped his fingers and that shit happened, but it didn't. So, but I took a shot on the Brazilian, but it was only because of the degenerate in me. So yeah.
So Ikram just washed him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of had his way with him. Yeah.
going out sad like Anthony Smith is Andre Muniz. A fight I actually did watch, Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick, dude. What a fucking fight. Matt Schnell piecing up Jimmy Flick, but then both of these guys kept jumping guillotine. I was like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like, guillotine after guillotine after guillotine attempt. Jimmy Flick, look, this guy has no striking, but this guy has incredible jiu-jitsu skills. 8.5 minutes of control time, 5 for 7 on takedowns. But it was Schnell landing the more sub attempts. God, dude, I'm so happy that they gave Matt Schnell a fight like this, you know, because the guy's been fighting fucking just nothing but top guys. Goes in there with Jimmy Flick, makes it a fantastic fight. They needed someone for Jimmy Flick to fight on this card. And Matt Schnell, dude, put on a fucking hell of a war. I love this fight from start to finish. I knew it would be a fantastic fight. Give me your thoughts on this one. Also, Matua says Dan completely shit the bed on that parlay. Yeah, he did. He did.
I did.
I was going to say, Rich definitely coined the term during the fight. Flick was the rich man's Bryce Mitchell.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's like if Bryce Mitchell completed middle school.
Yeah.
He beat Jimmy Flick. Okay. All right. I'm with it.
I picked Schnell to win. And I think all around he's a better fighter, more complete. But I happened to be in the T-shirt line earlier, and there's these kids, like, I don't know, teenagers, early 20s, behind me, and I was talking to them. They were up from Oklahoma. They were actually from Jimmy Flick's hometown, and I guess
shit.
he's like a legend in their high school and their town and shit. 'Cause I don't think he trains there anymore. He trains out of Tulsa. Must be nearby. I don't know. I don't know Oklahoma very well. But these kids were going hard for Flick. So I was cheering for Flick, but I picked Matt Schnell. So I was fine where I was at. It was a great fight. A lot of great grappling exchanges. Kind of what we knew what was going to happen going into it. So it played out great. I mean, this was still early on the card, or mid card still. Great,
this was the last fight of the prelims.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So it was rolling great up to this, like, these fights, these, what was it, 7 or so fights? Yeah. It was fantastic. So what do you think, Rich?
Not to get off on a tangent. Yes, I agree with everything you said. But like you said, when you're in the T-shirt line, they had these dope-ass looking baseball jerseys that I would have paid $150 for. But what'd they say on them, Nick?
So they said, oh shit, what is it? Takeover on the front, right? Takeover.
Then TKO, on the back,
yeah, it had the WWF symbol or WWE and PBR. Yeah, not Pabst Blue Ribbon skates.
Yeah,
the professional bull riders. Yeah.
Yeah, Rich was telling me that. So they had these jerseys that were TKO boxing, but then they were TKO brand, but they had the PBR, the WWE, and the UFC logo on the back, because I guess they were doing all 3 events there that weekend, which is why I heard you guys paid so much for Ubers.
Probably, dude. And they're doing the same thing this weekend in Des Moines. I think they're doing PBR Thursday, UFC Saturday, and then like Monday Night Raw or whatever it's called now. That's on Monday.
Okay. And you're going to Des Moines, right?
I'll be there. I'll be there this weekend. Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll have to have you on again. But yeah, fuck. What a fantastic fight. I hope Jimmy Flick is fucking done. And Matt Schnell was supposed to be done after this, but he just randomly came out to fucking fight him. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Hysterical. The UFC has produced racing jackets on the card when Yair fought Pitbull. Really?
Oh.
Weird.
So they did have a T-shirt for Prochez that you remember. It had like it said Prochez, but it had like a smoky kind of fucking font to it.
That's kind of cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
UFC actually making a good product. What's up with that?
I got to give them up. They made Kansas City specific like T-shirts and shit for Kansas City, unlike one's generic ass.
Yeah, they had like 5 different shirts to choose from.
Yeah.
The next fight was Evan Elder versus Gage Young. I kind of remember this fight. It wasn't. I don't think the fight was very good. No, this fight was actually pretty good. Your guys, any thoughts on this one?
Gage was the guy who was the hometown guy. He filled in late. Evan Elder, he had a longer time to prepare. Gage stepped in for the pedophile. So if he lost, he couldn't have lost. He
that guy,
either way.
Hassan Zada?
Yeah.
Oh,
Got popped with like a 14-year-old chick or something.
Well,
So, but this was Missouri versus Missouri because Evan Elder was fighting out of St. Louis, and Gage Young was fighting out of Sedalia, which I have no idea where that's at in Missouri. I'm guessing it's close to Kansas City. They were going nuts, but yeah, it looks typical of a guy who's training. Dude drops out. What has it been, 2 weeks? And then a local guy gets the call up. Very rarely does that local guy rise to the expectations.
I thought he looked good though. For all
He
things
looked
considered.
great. Yeah. No, I thought he looked great. It just wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
But it was a good fight. Give him that.
Next fight was Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. This was the worst fight on the card, in my opinion. Chris Gutierrez pretty much just did Chris Gutierrez things and leg kicked Castaneda to death. But it's weird the striking numbers look so similar. But I mean, really, not a lot of strikes thrown in this fight. Chris Gutierrez, man. I mean, if you guys remember at one, I ran into him and I said, "Hey, aren't you Gabriel Benitez?" I was really drunk. And he was like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "Oh, all right."
He said, "I'm Mexican too." No.
But it didn't really matter because, Chris Gutierrez, like, decent fighter, but I don't know, dude. I don't know why the UFC was pushing him so hard and had him sacrifice Frankie Edgar to him. Because the guy is just like, he doesn't do enough in a fight, and neither does John Castaneda to really make it decisive. That's why this fight went to a split decision. I thought it should have been a UD for Chris. But yeah, this fight was kind of a dud, if you ask me.
Yeah. What do you think, Rich?
Next, I had a parlay on him. He was like my big underdog play at 100. I had him at plus 132.
Castaneda?
Yeah, I thought, well, if there's a guy who pull it off, it'd be him. But no. Next,
we saw Gutierrez. He was hanging out behind us for a little while on the phone. He was kind of busted up.
Interesting. Did you call him Gabriel Benitez?
Dude, I'm going to next time.
Hey, Gabe, how you doing, buddy?
Next fight was Damone Blackshear versus Alatong Haley. Dude, I thought this was fight of the night up until probably the Dalby and Randy Brown fight because I didn't actually see it. But dude, Damone Blackshear, I mean, this guy shot 0 fucking takedowns, and this fight was such a sick fight, Muay Thai style fight. Alatong Haley was kind of hot in the first. Well, I think he won the second round. And then Damone Blackshear just fucking pieced him up the whole fight. It was honestly a wrinkle I haven't seen from Damone Blackshear. Thought he looked fantastic in this fight. But I also question why he never decided to grapple with Alatong Haley. Kind of strange decision, game plan-wise there. What did you guys think about this one?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a strange fight anyways, right? It was thrown together like 4 weeks ago and put on the card I don't know if they were filling space. Because Damone Blackshear just fought. I felt like, a month
4
ago?
weeks ago, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so he went from that fight right into this. I thought he was going to steamroll the dude, to be honest with you. I think I picked like first round TKO or something. And yeah, I did not see it. And then towards the end, I was actually going for the other guy. How do you say his name again, Skates?
Alatong Haley.
Yeah. We were cheering for him. Dude, the crowd was going nuts, man. There was chum in the water again, dude. So, I mean, it's hard to fight the crowd. But, yeah, I thought it was an enjoyable fight. It was entertaining. But, yeah, surprised that there was no takedowns. I would have
Damone
automatically
was
assumed that.
-450. He was expected to win. What else can you say? So, but
I just thought it
you
was
know,
weird. His game plan was just go out there and have a dogfight with the guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe that wasn't the game plan, but
this is strange. All right, we're getting to the end of the card here. Cameron Wellmaker goes in there, and man, I gotta give credit to No Chill MMA because he was the one telling me like Cameron Wellmaker was gonna hurt Cameron Simon, and dude, he's way faster than Cameron Simon, a lot bigger. Cameron Simon's still a young dude. Cameron Wellmaker, I think, is about 30. Dude, put him out fucking bad, like a light. Some people were saying it was an early stoppage, but I'm like, dude, nah, dude, the fucking Cameron Simon got fucked up big time in this one, and I don't even know.
I lost
where you go.
$125 in parlays on Simon. It did not end early. Simon got fucking smoked.
He did. I don't even know where you go with Cameron Simon at this point because I think being in the UFC so young is fucking his career up. The guy's taking too much fucking damage.
Yeah.
Go back to the regional scene if you ask me. Go back to what is the EFC in South Africa?
Yeah. PFL should pick him up.
There you go.
Cage Warriors.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, UFC's not doing him any favors. Him being in that organization, man, he's fucking doing terrible, and he's also a very small bantamweight.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was during this fight. I ran up the stairs and I was grabbing drinks, and I'm waiting for I got my beer and I'm waiting for Rich's, and then you hear the crowd roar. Ah! I run over to the curtain from this bar I'm at, and it was I caught the highlight 30 seconds later or whatever, but I was like, son of a bitch. Yeah.
Tua says that ICE should pick up Cameron Simon. What the fuck?
The Rio South African champion, are you?
Sounds like you guys are having a hard time with the stairs there. Jacqueline Amarim goes out there and submits Polyana Viana in the second round. Polyana Viana, attractive woman, good fighter, not so much. She landed a total of 0 strikes through 2 rounds. I mean, 0 significant strikes. Apparently, she landed 23. Amarim just washed her though. Got the rear naked choke in. Good performance from the -1,000 Jacqueline Amarim.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize that was the odd. I thought they were a little closer to that, but it is another one of those fights where she was to come in and kind of walk over poor Polyana. So, kind of goes as expected, I suppose.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rich? Yeah. Yeah.
The odds said too. So I stayed away from this one. There wasn't enough juice on the bone for me to get into it.
Yeah. No dogger pass situation. Timmy Kawamba gets a knockout against Romero. People were saying this one was early stoppage as well. The fight was decent up to the flying knee. But I'm like, dude, this guy Romero was making his debut. I'm perfectly fine with the stoppage. You get hit with a clean flying knee. You're on the ground, rocked. The fight's over.
Was that his debut? I thought he lost to somebody else in the previous fight.
I can check it out.
But hold up. These first few fights, and you coined the term, Nick, they had what? The Timu Chris Taioni?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Random guy in there.
That judge. I swear he's been on he was on the Shamrock FC and the Titan FCs back in the day. This dude, it was great value Taioni or whatever this dude was,
They had a couple of local refs there.
Oh, you're right. He did lose the decision to David Onama on short notice on the Stipe versus John Jones fight card. That was short notice. This is his first fight with a full camp, though. So,
yeah. And what were the odds? That was a pick'em originally, right?
The odds were about a pick'em plus 105 for Timmy Kawamba.
I took Romero on a couple cards, honestly. So
I did too.
Rich, you fucked up gambling on this card, dude.
I would tell you, I didn't bet a whole lot. I've been doing real well the past few weeks and over the past month. But whenever I go to these live events, I seem to get smoked. So I don't know if I overanalyze it. I don't know if I jinx it or if I'm a cooler or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, man.
Look, listen, Rich. All you need to do, buddy, watch my preview and predictions show, okay? And we'll help you out a little bit.
That's what I need to do. What am I doing?
Hey, you might get more picks right, but I do way more research than you.
Easy, but just because you get more picks right doesn't mean you're better at predictions than me.
No, that's exactly what that means. But Anakin asks, does Romero get one more or is he done? Give him one more. Why not? Why not?
They'll feed him to a contender series guy.
Yeah. Highlight reel. I mean, Timmy Kawaba's not like the most dangerous striker ever, so to see him get that flying knee was crazy. But the guy came in on short notice to fight David Onama on a big card, so I think you give him one more. All right, and then first fight was Chelsea Chandler getting knocked out by Jocelyn Edwards in the first round. I did not watch this fight.
It was worth it. It was a great way to kick the card off. So Chelsea didn't do a whole lot of running, a little backpedaling, but Jocelyn looked great. It was another one of those fights where it's like you knew what was going to happen going into it. So it worked out great. I thought it was a tremendous way to kick off the card.
Good shit. By the way, Nick, you won the Topology League this week.
I did?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool, dude.
Yeah, good job, buddy. Good job. I did add some people in late, so there was one guy that did do better than you on the card, but officially, like, after the event was over, you had won. So you are officially the second winner of my illustrious Topology League. Matua says, Dane isn't jinxing. There's something about his process or approach when he bets and goes to an event. There's a correlation there. Also, he says your shirt matches your eyes. Well, there you go.
Awesome. There you go.
So yeah, I mean, look, I didn't come, and it actually worked out good because I had to go help some family members up in Seattle. So, but man, we're gonna be at 1 in August, man. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to linking up with you cats again. You guys are good people. Any parting words on the event as a whole, on anything combat sports related, and what you guys got for me?
Go ahead, Rich. What do you got?
So, as far as Kansas City, it was what I kind of expected. The casino I was at was kind of janky, which is what I kind of heard. Not a big deal. But like the area around the arena was pretty nice. I felt, I probably would have rented a car. I wouldn't have done Uber. But outside of that, because we got fucked on the surge pricing trying to get out of there. So, that was the only thing I would say was the negative on the whole trip. But outside, and there, because we had our seats on the floor, man. I'm not that fucking. I know I'm an old fucking cripple, but goddamn, that was a lot of stairs going up and down. Man, am I wrong, Nick?
Yeah, man. It always is. It always is when you're down on the floor, dude. Unless like that one event we went to, we had the drinks and the bathrooms were right there. I guess on the other side of the floor, we were facing like the back of Bruce Buffer announcing. We were right by a camera boom that was right there that would sweep the crowd, But if we would have been on the other side, I think there was bathrooms and a bar available right there. We wouldn't have had to, walk upstairs 20 times or whatever. So
You guys fucked up.
yeah, I'll remember next time. We'll see how Des Moines goes.
Yeah.
But
Matua asks, ring girls should have a section where the fellows can hit on them. Were they doing anything besides holding up round cards?
no.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, like I said, man, we'll be linking back up for 1 in August. I mean, for sure. Hopefully Chaudhry doesn't cancel that event on us. I don't even know who's fighting, but it's always a good time hanging with you guys.
Sam Fairtex, right?
I said, fuck you for even saying that.
Yeah, I understand. But you know, I don't think he will. I mean, I've been very avid saying that he always makes the Denver shows happen. But no, man, you guys are good friends of mine. Thank you for carrying me through this show because I didn't watch the fucking event. Lane says, "Dude on the bottom needs to come give me a hug." I think Lane is attracted to you, Nick. But yeah, no. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Thank you guys for carrying me through this one. We're looking forward to linking back up in old Denver in August. I'll be a well-traveled man after that. I'll be going to Sydney, Australia before then. So, Nick, I'll have you back on for the Des Moines show if you're into that.
Yeah, man, let me know. I'll be driving back that night. So if you're doing it that night, let me know. But let me say a couple things here. Everybody, tune in. James Krause's Discord. All the best picks. All right? And Phil Baroni.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll talk about it. And then tomorrow I'll be doing a picks and preview show after work. I know I was a little late. Like I said, did some traveling this weekend, so my bad, guys. We'll try to bring MMA Nerd back. So yeah, that's it for us, man. Thank you guys again for hopping on the show. Also, let me see.
I don't give a fuck if the decision's rigged.
See you later, everybody. Oh shit, wrong one. Hold on. It's this one. See you later, guys. See you later.